As we already know, Flipgrid provides all students equal opportunities to amplify their voices and share their thoughts, opinions, ideas, and reflections. But for many learners, it can be very challenging to share their voices when they have trouble reading the discussion prompt. In order to support all learners, including those who are early or struggling readers, ELL students, or students who might just need a little more assistance, one of Microsoft's most powerful learning tools, Immersive Reader, has been built right into Flipgrid. Let's take a closer look at how students can use Immersive Reader in order to help them read and understand the topic inside a grid. Now, I've logged into Flipgrid as an educator, so I'm here on my educator dashboard in my grids, and I'm going to open up one of my grids, my Demo for Littles grid. I'm also going to then go into a topic, a day in the life of a firefighter. I just wanted to take you in here to point out that educators do not see Immersive Reader inside the topics. However, when students view the individual topics inside a grid, they will see Immersive Reader. So let's back up a couple of steps. And let's actually enter this grid as a student. Let me just enter in my identifier or ID code. And now here I am inside the Demo for Little grid as a student. And I can see my 3 topics. Notice inside each of the 3 topics, I can see the little icon for Immersive Reader. Let's go ahead and click on that icon for this particular topic, a day in the life of a firefighter. All right, now if this is your first time seeing Immersive Reader, one of the things that you'll notice right away is that it reduces visual crowding for students. The only thing I see on the page now are the lines of text for my topic. I can have Immersive Reader read this topic out loud to me by simply coming down here and pressing this play button. Notice that I can pause it at any time by clicking that button again. Next to that play button are voice settings. I can slow down the speed at which the text is read aloud to me, and I can choose from a female voice or a male voice at this point in time. But there's so much more Immersive Reader can do. Let's take a look at some of the other features. If I come up here to the 2 capital letter A's, this is for text preferences. Let's just open that menu. Notice that I can change the size of the text. Currently, increased spacing is on. That means that there's more spacing not only between each word, but between each letter of each word. Notice what happens when I turn that off. Let's turn it back on again. Now, notice that I have 3 different fonts to choose from. If I was an early reader, or maybe a struggling reader requiring a little bit more assistance, I might choose to use the Comic Sans font. For dyslexic students, as well as students with other learning disabilities, they might require to have a different theme or color of the page. High contrast colors, such as a dark theme, a blue theme, green theme, or a yellow theme, can actually support our learners, requiring various types of differentiation. Notice that there are even more colors that I can change my page to.
Let's change our theme back to a lighter theme, and we will continue to look at the different features and functions of Immersive Reader. So back at the very top of the menu, next to text preferences, I have grammar options. One of the first grammar options I have available is the ability to break words down into their syllables, simply by turning syllables on. You will see the words broken into their syllables separated by little dots, as well as increased spacing. Notice that you can also identify and color code parts of speech. You can turn on nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And as I was mentioning, when you turn those parts of speech on, the words themselves are color-coded. You can also turn on show labels. This further makes it easier to identify the different parts of speech. Notice that you can also change the color by which the parts of speech are color-coded. So I could make nouns a dark blue, verbs a green, and so on and so forth. In addition to grammar options, we also have reading preferences. Now, one really popular reading preference that benefits not only our early and struggling readers, but all readers, is line focus. When I turn on line focus, notice how the screen has actually shaded and a narrow strip of text, one line of text, has been highlighted. Let me just close the menu here. Now, if I click play, the line that is highlighted will actually follow along as the words are read aloud.
A day in the life of a firefighter. What would you like to know about firefighters?
However, the reader can also control this highlighted line manually using the arrows here to the far right. You can scroll up or scroll down to highlight specific lines of text that make up the topic. Let's go back to reading preferences and turn off line focus. A feature that is turned on by default is the picture dictionary. Now, some words have pictures associated with them. So for instance, if I click on the word day, I will actually see a picture associated with that word, and I'll be able to listen to that word being read out loud. Keep in mind that not all words have pictures associated with them, but Microsoft continues to improve and build upon its picture dictionary. Finally, another very important feature of Microsoft's Immersive Reader is the Translate feature. The first step that I need to do is choose the language that I'd like to translate this topic into. So I have chosen Spanish from Mexico, and notice that I can turn on by word, which means that if I click on a word, I will see the English word, and below it I will see the Spanish translation. But if I go back to reading preferences, turn off by word, and turn on document, notice that the whole topic has now been translated into Spanish. If I close the menu options again, I can always switch back to the original language, which was English, by clicking Original, or I can click Spanish in order to go back to that translation. All of these features and functions that I have just reviewed with you make Immersive Reader such a powerful learning tool. And now that Immersive Reader is built into individual topics inside grids in Flipgrid, this just further empowers all learners to amplify their voices.